This is October's block. So the one thing I want to point out is the cutting is a different number than we normally ever use, the width. So we're going to cut out these strips 2 5/8, which I've never had you guys cut out 5/8, I don't think ever, but the math works. So you're going to cut it out some strips 2 5/8. So I have my strips. I'm going to sew these together, right sides together. Okay, so I've sewn that together. I'm going to press it towards the darker side. Okay, so I have a strip set, and I already made a strip set, so I'm going to sew these two together and make a little 4. Yeah. Okay, so again, I'm going to, this is what it looks like, but I'm going to press towards the darker fabric. Just want to be consistent about that. All right, so this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to even up one side. So I take my ruler. I like to line up a seam or the edge of the fabric or something on a line, trim off just a little bit. And I'm going to stand up for this. So I want to straighten an edge. And now I'm going to cut this. I'm going to verify. It should be 2 5/8. Yes, 2 5/8. So I'm going to cut 4 strips that are 2 5/8. Okay. One more. Okay, and you have some extra. All right, so now we are going to sew these together like this. I'm going to put right sides together and I'm going to pin where the seams meet. Is this a lot easier than what you were expecting?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so I have this pinned where all my seams meet, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. Because I might as well do two at once. Okay, so I'm just going to sew these. Right, let me do the other one. Same thing. All right, so now I'm going to press this seam, and it really doesn't matter which way I go. All right, so here's one half. All right, so now I'm going to sew the two halves together. Again, I like to pin it. Okay, I'm going to press it. Again, it doesn't matter which way I press it. All right, so here's our 16 patch. And now we're just going to turn it into a square and a square. So I am going to take my triangle, fold it in half, find the middle, and then I have that pinch point, and I'm going to line it up with the seam because the seam is right in the middle. And I always like to sew with the straight grain on top. And this one is so big that I am going to pin it at both ends. Sometimes on a smaller square and a square, I don't bother pinning the ends. But this one I'm going to do that. All right. right, and before I iron that, I'm going to do the opposite side. Again, I'm going to fold it in half, find where the middle is, take that pinch, put it right at the seam. I'm going to pin it there. And I'm going to pin the ends because it's long. And that really can stretch if you're not careful. Because that is one long piece of bias fabric. Okay, so my pins.